perimeter with string. Let me give you guys the background. If I happen to give you guys a complex structure like this, and if you had to measure the perimeter, how would you go about doing it? Remember, perimeter is to do with measuring the outer length. If I happen to take a scale and try measuring this, it's not very convenient. So instead of that, what we can do is you can take a string. You can take a thread basically. Keep it along the boundary. Right? From one end to the other end. Then open the thread and keep it straight. And then use a ruler or a tape to measure the length. So here we are working with that idea. We are working with the idea of using string as a tool which will ease our measurement of any complex structure. So we can use string to measure perimeter is what we are trying to make a point over here. And also along with that, we are learning something called as estimation and verification. Estimation is to guess, verification is to check. Okay. So that's, sorry, I should change. Yeah. This is to guess and this is to verify, is to check. Okay, so that's the simplest way to put the idea across. Estimating a perimeter is like guessing how much string you need to outline a shape, then measuring to check if you are right. The estimate and verify method helps you make a smart guess about shape's boundary and confirm it with tools like ruler or a measuring tape. So you might ask, why should anyone guess something? Well, sometimes the situation asks you so. You're looking at something and you want to buy that product, and you know that the product has to be at least 1 meter long or 50 centimeter long, and so on and so forth. Like I had to buy a piece of cloth. So I'm going to a certain place and there I need a towel, and that towel size has to be minimum of say 60 centimeter and above. So if I know that I need 60 centimeter above, I have a rough estimate of that 60 centimeter. If I look at some cloth, I can make a guess that if it's more than 60 centimeter, around 60 to 100 is what I want. So if I just have a rough estimate, if I'm able to tell that it's more than 60 but less than 100, I'm done. I need not have the exact measurement. So the art of making an estimate is a useful tool for day-to-day life. Right? We are not learning just the math over here. It's not just 1 plus 1, but also to use whatever you're learning in day-to-day lives. Okay. So always be open to suggestions. And don't just look within the book, always apply it. So we have a small scenario. We are making use of a string to measure what shape is this? A triangle. Now, you have two people. I don't want to venture into reading the name out loud. So we have person A. The person claims the perimeter of the triangle is 9 units. While person disagrees and the person tells that it's must be greater than 9 units. Okay, let me explain this. I need to zoom in for this. If I happen to measure a line connecting the dots, any of these dots, they are said to be 1 unit away. Now the question is this structure equal to 9 unit or greater than 9 unit? So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if should we consider this as 7, 8 and 9 is the question. Is it so? What do you guess? Now you have to make an estimate. So please make an estimate. Who do you think is right? Estimate your answer and keep if the first person is right or the second person is right. I hope you guys are done. Now let's verify. Verification always happens with actual measurements. So a figure is made up of red and blue line with different unit lengths. Use a ruler to measure one red line and one blue line. So I don't have the luxury of doing that. Actually, I could have done it. I could have taken a print and done it. But anyways, instead of that, I'm measuring or I'm verifying with this actually. I'll compare. So this is the entire red line. This is supposedly the blue line, 3 units. So I'm keeping them next to each other. And now I'll do this. So we are looking at the blue line and the red line next to each other. Clearly, the red line is much shorter than the blue line. And so what can we conclude? Yes, the perimeter over here is clearly more than 9 units. Now, the next part. We are getting introduced to a new word, that is diagonal. So you will use it often in time. But yes, let's go with this. So let's label the red line as straight line and the blue line as diagonal. The perimeter of the triangle would be, okay, you need to pause over here and figure out the answer. The red line is called as straight line. This is also straight line, and this is your diagonal. So this length is known as diagonal, this is straight and this is straight. So what is perimeter? Sum of all of it. So you can either write 2 times of straight line because there are 2 of them added to a diagonal, right? Straight plus straight is 2 times straight. Next, if S represents the length of a straight line and D represents the length of a diagonal, express the perimeter in shorter form. So this is S, this also is S, and this is also D. So S plus S is 2S. It's similar to telling, let me actually write it over here. It's similar to this basically. Now, S plus S is 2 into S is what I'm telling, plus D. So some of you might not understand why is this so. Let me explain it this way. What is 5 plus 5? 10. Yeah, that's the right answer. Also 2 into 5. That's also practical. What if it's 15 plus 15? Then it would be 2 times of 15. Can I tell that? Yes, it's 30, but can I tell it's 2 times of 15? What if it's 151 plus 151? Can I term it as 2 times of 151? Similarly, when I have S plus S, I can rewrite it as 2 times of S. That's it. And D. So that is your answer basically. Let me write it over here. 2S plus D. This is for your understanding. I think that's it. Okay, a simple topic, commonsensical one. If I have to figure out the perimeter of some, say, a cylinder, basically I want to measure how the radius of this cylinder basically. Or say you have a sphere that is a ball. If I want to measure the radius, we need to measure the perimeter and all of that. So basically I need to go one round and then understand from that and use a certain formula and you can figure out the radius. That's one of the ways. To do all of this, what do we need? We need to use string. A string always helps. take a string and measure this, take a string and measure loop it around, and then open the string and use a tape, if not a ruler, to measure the length. Okay. And then we learned the art of estimation and verification. Estimation is to guess, verification is to check. So we did that with one activity. And we learned a new word called as diagonal. So diagonal is nothing but slant lines. Okay. So originally this was, it will take some time. Oh yeah, I do have it here. This is your diagonal, guys. It's slant, is it not? So for now, you guys can think of slant line as diagonal, not exactly, but compared to red line, this is slant. It's not the exact definition, just don't go with that. So we got introduced to the word diagonal. We don't know the exact definition and not defined it. And we use the idea of perimeter to find the perimeter of this structure. Okay, you can pause and have a look.